Well, hello everybody out there in Facebook land. It is Dr. Joe for our usual, um, Sunday night transformation stories. And we've got some great ones coming up tonight. I'm gonna give a few people a chance to let us know where you're coming from. If you're watching on a friend's Facebook page, my name is Dr. Joe Pecoraro, and I'm a vascular and general surgeon by trade, and also a health and wellness coach, which is a really exciting way to see people's lives change in a dramatic way. So if if you want to, feel free to share this with your friends. Go ahead and tag them in the comments. Say, hey, hop on and hear how some of these people's lives are really changing for the better. And tonight, my friend Lindsay, who's on with me, is a health and wellness coach, just like my wife Rhonda and me. And also we have someone else, Deb, who's in the process of really learning more about what it is to be a coach, but at the same time, she's experiencing great success on her own journey. So now that we're starting to move towards summer, I know a lot of people are kind of looking at themselves and thinking, really? Is this me? Did I really let myself go during these past few months? Or I know up north, it's easy in the winter when you're wearing all bundled up clothing to really just ignore how you look. And while it's not all about how you look, it's really about health. And that's really what this is all about tonight. You're going to hear stories of a couple of women who really stayed strong, even through the chaos that's happening in the world today, and even in their own lives. I mean, everybody has things happening. So I'm hoping that you can take some time out, listen to how some people have stayed strong, how they got some victories. Maybe you'll get some inspiration. Maybe you'll get infused with some positivity in your life. And if so, reach out to the friend who invited you, because you're seeing this on someone's Facebook page. Whoever's page that is, reach out to them. Or if it's a friend who shared it, then reach out to them. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with we're going to go all the way out to the west coast of the United States, to California, and to Lindsay. And Lindsay, would you just kind of share your story? I know COVID has affected your work, and thankfully you were already getting healthy before that. But maybe just share with everyone what's been happening and how you've managed to really stay the course.
Well, I'm a hairstylist, so my work got shut down pretty abruptly in March, and we're opening back up tomorrow. But definitely was thankful that I already had a plan in place that for eating. I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours and fueling my body properly. It's a major difference than a year ago when I started the program, where I was just eating whenever I thought I was hungry. And I usually do hair 3 days a week. So I'm home a lot. And when you're home a lot, like we all now know, you can eat as much as you want. And you think that you're hungry when oftentimes you're really bored, or you just really like think, oh, well, I could eat. I'm in the kitchen. So I was doing a lot of that beforehand, and I absolutely have it under control now, but I wouldn't have if it wasn't for the program and knowing how to maintain what I lost, the 40 pounds in 5 months. It didn't take me a year to get here. So to me, that was like really exciting that you could see such a dramatic change so quickly and in a healthy way, as well as like not just looking better, but feeling better as well. So, I think you're muted, Dr. Joe. But there's my before and after picture.
Yeah, so maybe you could talk a little bit about what it was like before, and then while you were on the program, what you experienced. I know you said a little bit about the uh, the fueling your body is regularly such an important part of our program, but what were you doing before all
um,
that?
Honestly, like before, I was just kind of like I was usually thin, you know, but I also was a pretty active person. And then just kind of in my late 20s started to gain weight, and just slowly it would creep on over the years, and I just kind of was not noticing it all too much at once, so I just was okay with it. And then I got married and I quit my second job at the time, and that's the before picture is us in March of 2019. And I mean, after I got married, I probably gained like about 17 pounds in 2 months. And then after that, it just kept kind of going up. And I had never had to lose weight before, so I didn't know how to do it. And I was trying to eat healthy. I cut out like pasta and carby kind of stuff, and I thought that I was eating healthy. And what was happening was I was continuing to actually gain weight. And then I was just thinking, okay, well, let me just try to stay the same weight. And that wasn't happening either. So I just was like, all right, whatever. Like, if we're going to go out to eat, then I'm going to order what I want to eat. And, you know, that kind of spirals in a negative direction, I found out. And I found myself kind of at this place where I was like, I don't fit my clothes again. And last time that happened, I just bought bigger clothes, and I am not going to do that again. So I realized I needed something, and I needed something right now. And so I had been following another coach on Facebook, and probably for a while, and I just hit my limit, and I messaged her. I didn't even know her. I just messaged her, and I was like, tell me what you're doing, because these people are losing weight and they're losing it quickly. And when she explained to me that the program is high protein, low carbs and fat and sugar, but and calorie deficit, I was like, then I don't care what it is, like I'm gonna do it. Like that I know is gonna lose weight. So if I know nothing else, I know that will lose weight. So I jumped on the program and got my husband to do it too. You could see the before and after picture. He lost 30 pounds in 2 months, because men lose it like insanely quickly. Um, but yeah, so we got on plan, and I lost 4 pounds in 2 days that I could not lose in 4 years. So to me, I was like in disbelief that this was a thing. And clearly it wasn't a fluctuation, because I don't fluctuate downwards at that point. So it was exciting and unbelievable. And then it just kept going. And I was continuously losing 2 pounds a week. I lost 8 pounds a month consistently throughout the entire program. And I wasn't starving. I was, you know, I mean, it was a simple plan. I'm not counting calories. It was just incredibly easy to just grab my food and go for the day and be set. And so once I reached my goal, then through transition, I learned through my coach, like how to, um, what foods to eat and what kind of plan I should be on, things like that. And so it just kind of evolves after that. And you always have a plan going forward, which means that you are going to sustain it, as well as with a healthy community. There's a Facebook group, and of course, my community of amazing coaches above me, as well as a health book that works through your mindset. And that's really helpful. And so, yeah, just major, I mean, I would say like 180. In 5 months, I was like a different person, and not because I lost 40 pounds, but the snowball effect of the positive things that you're changing in your life, it just, it grows. You can go one way or the other, right? Before I was going the negative path, and now I'm spiraling up, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep that going, right?
Well, I love some of those things you said, Lindsay, because they were so right on. Like I know there's so many people, they see all kinds of things on Facebook and they just watch and they just watch. And then finally, like you said, it got to you and you realized you were going to take a step. And that's really what this is all about. It's about the timing being right and having the right program. And you hit on so many important things, like community is such an important aspect of what we do. And we put that together so well. I love the way that works because I was not one that thought I needed community. I thought, oh, you know what? I'm a self-starter. I can do this myself. Just tell me what to do. And I did it. But I found out later that I really was a team player because in my surgical practice, I worked in groups. As a resident, we always had teams. And it really makes a difference to know that there's people who are kind of in your corner, so to speak, rooting for you. And yeah, I loved you hit on the nutritional aspect that we're adequate protein, so there's no muscle wasting. We're low glycemic carbohydrates, so keeps the blood sugars in check and does not turn on that that insulin pump that starts pumping things out and making people hungry. And yet there's enough fat, but good fats. So such nutritional balance. I know as a physician, I wanted to be sure there was absolute nutritional balance before I got started on this, which I probably didn't even mention, but I lost 123 pounds on our program. Took me 8 months to do it, which was pretty quick because I saw people who would have bariatric surgery and I would lose just as quick as them, only I was doing it in a healthy way. And I had almost gotten to that point where I thought, I don't know, maybe surgery is the answer, even though I knew that it wasn't. As a surgeon, I knew you have to change the way you think. And you hit on that with the books that we have that really help us to replace our habits that don't do us justice with habits that really serve us in a good way. And one other thing, I know you said you had a plan in place when your job got shut completely. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people, they're looking for a plan B. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, I want to hear Deb's story. I know yours was, we're going now from the west coast of California. We're gonna make a stop in Louisiana, and let's go ahead and what's going on with you, Deb?
I don't know if I would say that my story is typical, but ever since I was a young adult, I've had a basic love-hate relationship with food. I either eat too much because I couldn't stop eating whatever it is that I wanted, or I'd do a calorie deficit so that I would try to lose weight. You know, I'd lose a little and I'd gain it all back plus some. I'd lose a little, gain it all back plus some with different programs. At my top weight, which is not the picture that you have, I was significantly heavier than that picture. I was about 250 pounds, and I lost 80 pounds, and I maintained it for a little while. But then life happened, and I didn't follow through, and I put weight back on. Um, so I finally got to the point where I had to do something, and I reached out to to my coach and said, "Please help now." She had over the years reached out, extended the olive branch at times, and I was like, "I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Nope, not gonna do it." I finally was ready. Um, we talked about what I needed to do to be successful. Um, you know, she had given me some guidelines. Um, she had talked to me about drinking enough water, about getting enough sleep, that those two things right there would help me long term. Um, And basically, I don't want a yo-yo diet anymore. I want to do this one time, get to my goal weight, and stay there. Um, I'm not quite halfway, but I've had great success over the past 10 weeks. I've averaged about 3 pounds a week. I lost a lot really fast and then it slowed down, and now it's back to about a normal, about 3 pounds a week at this point. So I can't hear you.
Let me ask how you feel differently. Like what I know a lot of people, there's things they can do that they couldn't do before they started. There's ways that they feel, there's ways they think.
Um, I'm As far as food goes, I'm not looking. I'll go to the refrigerator and look and go, nah, and wait until it's time for my next fueling, instead of doing a, I'm bored, so I'm going to go eat. I've had situations lately where chocolate, my favorite, was right in front of my face and ready for me to eat. It was just saying, eat me. And I looked at it and it went in the trash. My family wasn't going to eat it, so it needed to be gone. So it was. I have a lot more energy. I'm getting ready to, with assistance from a support, start running again. And I'd like to start doing weights again. So I have to work that into my fuelings. But this program has adequate support for that, and I'm looking forward to that. Um, my daughter, I don't know if she's watching or not, actually looked at me the other day and said, "Mom, you look skinny." And I don't think I look skinny, but I look a whole lot healthier than I did before. Um, my coach told me that those 30 pounds were huge. And I believe her, because I don't feel like I look nearly as heavy as I did, but I know that I still have room for improvement. So,
Well, you definitely look younger.
thank you.
You look way more energetic and vibrant than in that before picture. I can say that. And so many of the things you were talking about are so important, is the help from the coach. And I know there's people out there who are listening, and they're like you. They think, what is that lady talking about? Like, how could she just not eat the chocolate if she wanted it? And one of the beautiful things about this program, of course, is that you can have chocolate, but you just have to have the right kind of chocolate in the right way. And I know that I tell people, if they social distance from the refrigerator, that would be helpful.
Right.
But it's not an easy thing to do, and that's why support is so important. And I know there's people listening, and they're like I was. I waited months before I jumped in, and the only regret I have is having waited so long. So I'm very simply saying, maybe the timing isn't right, but maybe the timing is right. And we've had a special going on this entire month. There's no better time, if you are listening, to talk to the person who you're listening to this on their page, and say, hey, how do I get that $90 off? Because $90 is pretty significant. $90 worth of nutrition, worth of food that tastes good and at the same time is healthy. And
it's sent to your door.
and it's delivered right to your door. Yeah, without and they've been doing it. It's not like they had to shift the way they do things. It's been wonderful to be able to have that box come to the front door and know that we've got our food for the month. And for me, after a lifetime of roller coaster dieting, and then now keeping off more than 120 pounds for 14 years, I have not looked back since my wife and I started this program. Once we started having success, we became health coaches, and You may be listening to this tonight and say, oh, I don't need to lose weight, but I sure know a lot of people who do. And if that's the case, then connect with the person about health coaching, because it is nice to have a plan B. Like Lindsay talked about how she already had a health coaching business in place, never expecting that some weird little virus was going to come over from China and cause her business to get stopped immediately. And we never know. And that's why it is important. We used to say, dig the well before the drought. So I love listening to these stories, because to me, they're always invigorating, they're inspiring, because I know that that's more people getting healthy. I know that that's more people who are leaving a legacy of health to their kids or their family, their friends. Instead of just talking about it, they're doing it. And you have that same opportunity. So, you know what? If not now, when? Just jump in and get started and be part of the solution, because we know that there's a big world out there, and it's a lot easier to enjoy it when you're healthy. So God bless you all. Have a wonderful Sunday night. And Lindsay and Deb, fantastic job. I know you inspired me. So God bless you all, and thanks again.
Thank you.